The highly pathogenic avian influenza outbreak has become the largest animal health emergency in U.S. history. Mass mortality composting was implemented on the majority of infected poultry operations during the recent avian influenza outbreaks. Composting is the controlled biological decomposition process that converts organic matter into a stable, humus-like product and generates temperatures adequate to destroy most pathogens, including the avian influenza virus. Large windrows are formed by surrounding poultry carcasses and manure with carbon material, such as wood chips, wood shavings, corn stover, or other available carbon. Following compost windrow construction, temperatures are monitored daily using a long stem thermometer and recorded on the daily temperature log. Compost pile temperature measurements are a critical indicator of effectiveness of the compost process for virus inactivation. Properly performing compost piles should begin to heat internally, achieving temperatures above 131 degrees Fahrenheit. Before monitoring temperatures inside a poultry house, it is imperative to turn on fans and open doors and curtains to allow the house to properly ventilate before entering. The buddy system should always be used when entering poultry houses containing dead birds or active compost. Each windrow should be flagged in at least 10 temperature monitoring locations, equally spaced the length of the windrow. 2 readings should be taken within a foot of each flag at both the 18-inch and 36-inch depths. To ensure consistent temperature monitoring to the same depth, mark the thermometer probe at 18 inches and 36 inches. Place the temperature probe 3/4 of the way up the windrow at a 45-degree angle. Let the thermometer set at each depth for at least 60 seconds before logging a reading. The goal is to reach temperatures of 131 degrees Fahrenheit, or greater, for 3 consecutive days during Phase 1 and Phase 2 of composting. Ideally, temperature should be monitored by a single individual for consistency. After logging temperatures, disinfect the thermometer and place it back in the protective case. Thermometers must be kept at the farm being monitored for biosecurity purposes. In order to assure accurate temperature readings, thermometers should be calibrated before first use and, at a minimum, weekly.
Calibrating a temperature probe is a simple process. To begin, you just need a bucket. A 5-gallon bucket is great. You can add water, about 6 inches to 8 inches of water into the bucket, and then add a bag of ice. Once you've added the ice to the bucket, then you just need to give it about 60 seconds or so for the water to come to temperature. It might be more if the water is really warm or it's really hot outside. But once you add the ice to the water, you can stir it around with your temperature probe, give it a few seconds, 60 seconds or so, to come to temperature. And after that point, you can look at the readings on your temperature probes. If you're reading higher than 32 degrees, you can turn it down. If it's reading lower than 32 degrees, you can adjust it. There's going to be a dial on the back of the temperature probe that you can use to make those adjustments. Again, it's critical to make sure that you're reaching the temperatures that you need to inactivate the virus, and it just takes a few moments to do the calibration.
Temperature monitoring is vital for effective management and potential troubleshooting of compost windrows. Accurately recording daily compost temperatures is required to demonstrate that the composting process is effectively working and has met time and temperature requirements designated by the USDA. Documentation of compost temperatures on the daily temperature log is necessary in order to release the quarantine on the infected premises. Logging these temperatures is a critical process that should be conducted with precision, consistency, and using the appropriately calibrated instruments.